The important corridor of the Americans in Greece and the prophecy of the elder Saint Paisios from back in 1990. He was able to foretell the future. He did tell people to write down his prophecies, and it appears this is now coming to fulfillment. The anecdotal prophecy that came to the fore in September 2012 by the dear friend of Saint Paisios the Elder, Mr. Kostas from Yanina, and from the esteemed blog Higiken from Kozani, Hellenistic Macedonia, with a significant contribution to the events for many years. With Mr. Kostas, we had the pleasure and the blessing, the author writes, to communicate earlier, and he repeated to us the words of St. Paisios the Elder. And this is what St. Paisios said. But then our so-called friends will help our Greece, but in fact they will have in their minds on the Dardanelles, that is the area of Istanbul, where the Aegean Sea passes through a very narrow strait into the Black Sea. We know at the top of the Black Sea, of course, is Crimea, and the way towards Ukraine and Russia. So basically they want the Dardanelles, they want that passage, and European Turkey, intense U.S. interests also in Alexandroupoli, where the U.S. has a military base, will take pity on us and will not let us take part in the war that will take place. So St. Paisios is saying that there will be a conflict. Well, there is now a conflict. It will be trampled by these so-called friends of ours and the others. And the above was from the 1990 prophecy of St. Paisios associated with the current events in Ukraine, with the U.S. interest in the area of northern Greece, Alexandroupolis, Bulgaria, and the Dardanelles corridor of the passage of the Aegean Sea into the Black Sea, which is located in Istanbul, Turkey, with the movement of NATO forces. So today we read the news. In the news, plans exist for the transfer of forces from Greek and Turkish ports through Bulgaria and Romania to reach the eastern side of the alliance. And today's news, NATO is developing multiple land corridors to transport U.S. troops and armor to the front lines in the event of conflict with Russia, the Telegraph reveals. Specifically, in the event of worst-case scenario in the West clashing with Russia, U.S. troops would land at one of the plan's 5 ports and deploy along pre-planned logistic routes to counter a possible attack from Moscow, they said. Officials to the British newspaper, amid warnings from top alliance leaders that Western governments must prepare for a conflict with Russia in the next 2 decades. The ports in question are located in Norway, the Netherlands, Italy, Turkey, and Greece. More specifically, existing plans call for American troops to disembark in Rotterdam before boarding trains that take them through Germany and on to Poland. However, behind-the-scenes arrangements are also being made to extend the routes to other ports to ensure that the land line of communication cannot be cut by Moscow's forces. Indicatively, Major General Alexander Solfrank, the head of NATO's JSEC, Joint Support and Enabling Command, told the Telegraph Ukraine is suffering greatly from these Russian long-range missile attacks on logistic systems. In the event that NATO forces entering the Netherlands are hit by Russian bombing or northern European ports are destroyed, the alliance is set to turn its sights on ports in Italy, Greece, and Turkey, in other words, to the south. From Italian ports, U.S. troops can be moved overland through Slovenia, Croatia, and Hungary, which shares a border with Ukraine. Similar plans exist to transport forces from Greek and Turkish ports through Bulgaria, Romania, and reach the eastern flank of the alliance. At the same time, plans are being drawn up to transport troops through ports in the Balkans, as well as through Norway, Sweden, and Finland. This is according to Banking News. Now, the 1990 prophecy of St. Paisios associating the current events in the Ukraine with the U.S. interest in the area of northern Greece and Bulgaria Dardanelle corridor with the movement of NATO forces, from Higgins, September 23, 2012. We were blessed to meet a man who had known Elder Paisios for 15 years and had a special relationship with him. We traveled several kilometers to get to know him up close, and I think the material entrusted to us is important that we will try to show it gradually. We start with a testimony due to topically related to Greek Turkish. Out of deep humility alone, the gentleman in question did not want us to publish either his name or the city where he lives. We are in 1990 when I saw the old man. It was the last time because after a while he got sick. He put me in his cell and sat on the bench. Every time I visited him, I took him a woolen jersey for the cold as a present, and I took the bag with me and put it in a corner. He says to me, "Don't bother with the bag." I had a tape recorder in my bag and recorded conversations from a distance, and I intended as soon as I went to take off my shirt to press it, and it would start recording the old man's words, St. Paisios' words. As soon as I got up, he says, "Don't open it, it's not going to work. Bring it here so I can see it too," he said. After he understood me, I took it and gave it to him. He says to me, "Whose is this?" I tell him it belongs to our friend B, who was known to the old man, and he started looking at it and said, "It's very nice, but you know, it won't work. Since you didn't have a blessing, it will not work." At that time, someone called him outside the cell, and there I saw the old man's lunch, which was half a tomato, 3 olives, and half a slice of bread. As soon as he came inside, I said, "Elder, I have a calculation. What will happen to Greece? Tell me if it's blessed." The old man says to me, "I'll tell you." I tell me I won't see it. You will see it. It will be done in your days, and you will live this event. The problem will start from northern Greece, from Thrace. It will be a diplomatic episode that cannot be resolved. But when our so-called friends will help our Greece, but in essence they will have their minds on the Dardanelles and East and European Turkey, it will start from there, from Thrace. I asked him, "Are we going to take part in whatever happens?" "No," he tells me, "we will reach the point of general mobilization. Thanks to the little children, the monks, and others who pray, God will have pity on us and will not let us take part in the war that will take place. It will be trampled by these so-called friends of ours and the others." This is according to Dr. Konstantin Vardakas, a theologian, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. So we will see if this prophecy, this prediction of Elder St. Paisios will be fulfilled. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.